Okay, students, in this video we are going to derive the quadratic formula from the standard form. There's a few steps to follow. Step number 1 is to move the c value to the right by subtracting it. So let's subtract the c value to both sides. So we ended up with ax squared plus bx equals negative c. The next step is to make the leading coefficient, make this a 1. So since this is not a 1, let's divide everything by a. And that's how we get rid of the a. So we get x squared plus b over ax equals negative c over a, since we are dividing everything by a. This next step is probably the most complex step in the process. And by the way, this process that we're doing here is called completing the square. So we take half of the b value, we take half of that, we square it, and we add it to both sides. Well, what is half of the b? Well, half of the b value is going to be b over 2a. So half of this value is b over 2a. So we need to square that and add it to both sides. So x squared plus b over ax plus what we just came up with, b over 2a squared, and add it to both sides. On the left side, the next step is to factor this out. So we get x times x. And the shortcut here, is whatever we came up with right here, that's what's going to go as my two numbers, b over 2a. b over 2a is equal to, well, on the left side, we took care of that. Now the right side, it's going to be negative c over a plus b over 2a squared, which is b over 2a times b over 2a, and that's going to be b squared over 4a squared. So b squared over 4a squared. Keep in mind this is a fraction, so when you add fractions, we need to have the common denominator. So between a and 4a squared, what is the common denominator? I would have to say it's 4a squared. So let's multiply this by 4a, multiply the numerator here also by 4a, and that's going to give us negative 4 times a times c plus b squared over, since it's the common denominator, it's going to be 4a squared equals 2. This is where we apply the square root property, which is x plus b over 2a, all this squared, since there are two of them. So let's make some room up here. Let's erase this really quick. All right, so let's rewrite this up here really quick. So we have x plus 2 over 2, x plus b over 2a, all that is squared, equals negative 4ac plus b squared over 4a squared. To get rid of this exponent of 2, remember, we simply square root both sides, and that goes away. So we have x plus b over 2a equals, plus or minus, the square root of negative 4ac plus b squared. Notice on the bottom, the square of 4a squared, or the root, I should say, the root of 4a squared is 2a. We're almost there, guys. How do we get this x by itself? Well, we simply subtract b over 2a on both sides. Subtract b over 2a on both sides. And that's going to give us, this goes away, so we get x equals, well, we have the negative b over 2a plus or minus the square root of negative 4ac plus b squared over 2a. But since we're adding or subtracting and we have the same denominator, we simply can say, well, we can write everything as one denominator. So we have negative b plus or minus the square root of, well, here we have b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And this is what we call the quadratic formula. This is pretty intense, a little abstract. I hope this makes sense. Review it a couple times. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.